Throw your gun in a corner.
When it comes to feats of strength and dexterity, I think this version here just might take the cake. Or maybe you prefer a more familiar face, a little more updated and wielding Mjolnir. Of course, you could always go with the tried and true red, white, and black of U.S.Agent if you're no longer feeling the same old Steve Rogers variety. In fact, there are plenty of variant options, and we've decided to rank a few of the strongest. And it's not him.
The old people around here are my friends.
You can't take vampires lightly, and they really know how to get under your skin and just stay there, sometimes for months and months and months on end. But whether it's the dance moves or the fangs you find deeply embedded, you can be sure the bite is infectious. And honestly, the cons aren't half bad, especially if you're Captain America and you can throw a shield at your enemies garlic and silver from across the room before they can even get close enough to harm you. Vampire King Steve Rogers hails from Earth 3931, combining super soldier serum with vampire powers like teleportation and fearsome fangs. This makes for one frightening version of Cap. He was so impervious to damage that after literally losing his head in a fight with Mimic, he just simply reaches down, picks it up, and puts it back on, and then gets ready for round 2. After what seemed to be a hopeless hand-to-hand battle, it takes the Deus Ex Machina magical sword, the Soul Sword, to bring him down. Instantly. It's a good thing the heroes just happen to have this super rare artifact in their back pocket. Roberta Mendez of Earth 23291 was subjected to the super soldier serum against her will. This in part created dual personalities, where one has access to the same power as the Prime Universe Steve Rogers Captain America, while the other is just your ordinary civilian. While inhabiting the Captain America persona, she once knocked the lecherous, drunk son of Zeus, Hercules, to the ground with a single punch, successfully defending the honor of a humble citizen he was hitting on. She also beats up some tigers in the zoo in front of children. But I guess she knew her audience because these particular callous kids seemed a little upset that she wasn't also going to make her way over to the polar bear tank for a little old retribution. But on a more serious note, she is durable enough to take hits from Hulk and Iron Man and keep on moving. Unfortunately, trigger words, if known by an enemy, can force her out of her power and back into a non-combatant. This is a dire weakness to have, but could be potentially useful on an espionage mission, where special information gathering is key. If she were to be captured and an enemy lacked the correct trigger phrases, she would not be able to recall the knowledge of her previous personality. The daughter of Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, a shield is barely needed. In her own words, I am the shield. And if Earth 15061 Jessica Jones and Luke Cage are anything like their Prime Universe counterparts, to quote Ms. Cage again, I got their powers. This means this version of Captain America is potentially packing the strength to casually carry semi-trailer freight trucks and can reach speeds while flying, breaking the sound barrier. Now, we have yet to see some of these more fantastical abilities on display, but we know for a fact that she is bulletproof. Add to that some pretty interesting tech, like an anti-gravity shield that she can control with her mind and fly around on, and you've got a very agile and difficult kind of Captain America to deal with. Kind of like a captain on a flying Nimbus cloud. Only a much more dangerous flying Nimbus cloud. Agent John Walker loves to help, and sometimes he just likes to fight. When he is not standing in as a carjack to help people with their tires, you might find him flexing his patriotism. Before taking up the Captain America mantle, he was the super patriot after all. Trained by Taskmaster in all things combat, as well as a veteran of the U.S. Army, John Walker boasts considerable applicable combat skill. Along with super abilities granted to him through the Power Broker system, he is an absolutely lethal agent. Of note, he was able to bash Wolverine, sending him flying with the one-arm shield strike. And Wolverine is not a light fellow. But this should come as no surprise, as with the strength to press 10 tons, he should be able to toss adult-sized African elephants around with relative ease. This is not a Captain America I would particularly like to face. Captain Falcon brings something to the table most other captains can't: flight. It has been useful in so many pivotal moments and has saved his hide more than just once. Capable of a sustained flight slightly over 400 kilometers per hour, offensively, this Captain America is a fatal force. During a furious battle against U.S.Agent, one that would have not gone well if Sam decided to face John in a straight-up fistfight, Cap flies Walker under a dark bridge. He utilizes his telepathic friendship with the birds in the area to borrow their sight. This allows him to fight Agent Walker in complete darkness, landing attacks that he was unable to land before thanks to a bunch of owls. This kind of quick-thinking approach has often given Sam the upper hand in grim situations. Sam has also been able to knock out Steve Rogers, though Steve wasn't expecting it, and arm wrestle the original Cap, beginning in a standstill before being interrupted by some bad guys. So just how strong is Sam Wilson really? As time goes on, he seems to discover more and more latent powers. Bucky has been around for a long time, and the experience he has gained along the way was not the kind you might find in basic training. Brainwashed and assigned with eliminating targets throughout the world and cryogenically frozen while not in use, he was focused into a supremely effective and efficient machine. His timing is so great that he is able to deflect arrows from a stealthy ambushing Hawkeye and is a martial artist capable of defeating the likes of Black Widow and Wolverine. He is not one to take lightly. So when he battles with Sam Wilson, although only in the form of a sparring match, he beats him relatively easily. And having a bulletproof Stark-type Captain America costume also doesn't hurt. As a soldier, he tends to bring the heavy firepower. One of his greatest combat feats was getting close and staggering the actual Olympian god of war, Ares. Ares acknowledges this and gives Captain Bucky the validation of a impressive. The man out of time of the MCU, able to take multiple bionic arm punches from the Winter Soldier to the face. And remember, this arm can break concrete. He can hold a helicopter in place, and much more impressive, has held back Thanos. For someone that can pretty easily handle the Hulk, Thanos definitely seemed surprised. It should be noted, however, that he was most likely testing the Captain and amusing himself. He knew victory was well within his grasp. When they fight again, victory was not so assured, and a worthy Mjolnir-wielding Steve Rogers battles the Mad Titan toe-to-toe, doing quite well. The overwhelming strength of Thanos won over in the end, but for the Captain to battle him and land as many successful strikes as he did, this makes for one very tough version of the Super Soldier. This version of Captain America is the Prime Universe Captain America, the true first Avenger, appearing for the first time in 1940. With such a long run, he has had many years to acquire skills, hone his abilities, gain experience, and add to the list of occasions he saved the world. Stated by the creator of the Super Soldier Serum, Dr. Abraham Erskine, his enhancements are second to none. This Cap bench presses over 1,000 pounds or 450 kilograms on a warm-up. But probably the most wild feat of strength he has ever showcased was in the form of a shield throw. After failing to stop the launch of a couple of intercontinental ballistic missiles, Steve Rogers decides the only way to stop them is to throw his shield at them. Surprise. But what is crazy about this is how fast the shield had to have traveled. Steve Rogers is tossing his shield potentially over 15,000 miles per hour / 24,000 kilometers per hour to catch up to the already launched missiles. For a real-world reference, the Guinness World Record baseball pitch is slightly over 169 kilometers per hour. So if you are someone who can boomerang a pretty much indestructible shield over those speeds and with extreme accuracy, you are definitely one of the most powerful versions of the Sentinel of Liberty in existence. Presenting previous President of the United States of America, Ultimate Captain America. A man who only needs about an hour of sleep a week and can knock out Juggernaut. With the power to beat back the Hulk, this former president is no slouch. Nick Fury vouches for his ability to bench Toyota trucks. But what makes him more deadly than most is his aggression and methods. He doesn't really exactly adhere to the whole superhero one rule thing that most other superheroes do. And he uses all manner of weapons as he does it. Plus, he doesn't really mind playing dirty to win. He's basically a stronger, more raw, and unleashed variant of the Prime Universe 616 version. So if he must use mind games to gain a tactical advantage, or use human shields to put the pressure on his enemies, he will do so. He is a rough soldier of his original era and will do what needs to be done. This Illuminati founding member did not fare well in her Marvel Cinematic Universe debut against the reality-bending Scarlet Witch. In fact, none of the Illuminati members fared well at all. Lucky for us, there is another version, hailing from the What If universe, who appears a whole lot more capable. Not wearing the traditional color pattern of most of the Captain variants, but replacing Steve Rogers when he was injured and unable to take the original Super Soldier Serum, Peggy Carter is given the treatment in his place. She becomes Captain Carter, and whatever was in this serum might have had a little extra kick. She is seen casually tossing trucks and motorcycles, ripping through metal, and battling hordes of enemies, all while joking. At one point, Carter leaps towards a large tentacle monster invited by Red Skull. No other name is given than the champion of Hydra, but it does look suspiciously like the interdimensional god Shumagorath. And if that's the case, or at least this monster is possibly related to this ancient near-omnipotent deity, Peggy Carter has one of the greatest feats known to Captain America kind, sending this creature back from whence it came. Indoctrinated by Hydra and operating as a sleeper agent, this version of Cap was able to take over America, orchestrating a series of events that allowed him to consolidate this power, legally wielding the government and military before assuming full control. Hydra Supreme, holding this immense political and military power, also possessed an Iron Man-like suit. Powered by a cosmic cube, he additionally gained reality warping abilities. With some mind-altering substances mixed into the water supplies, America was actually quite receptive to their new overlord. There were some heroes left that still opposed Captain Dictator, but even they were not enough. He effortlessly brushed off Thor, Storm, Captain Marvel, Hulk, Spider-Man, Old Man Logan, and more at the same time. Reality bent fully to his will. That is, until a risky plan initiated by Captain America Sam Wilson summons the original Captain America Steve Rogers to take on his variant. This battle was hard fought between the two captains, but in a decisive twist, where Mjolnir no longer deemed Captain Hydra worthy, original Steve lifts the hammer and finally defeats the all-powerful Hydra America. Warp World was a pocket dimension created from the power of the Infinity Stones. They merged the souls of half the universe into the other half of the universe. This was done by Gamora, mimicking the previous actions of her father, although in a considerably less cruel way. Sort of. This created many different warped beings, and one of these beings was Steven Rogers. The amalgamation of Doctor Strange and Captain America, Steven Rogers reported for duty. The tactical mind of the Cap and the power of the wielder of the mystic arts resulted in one impressive character. Though it should be noted, when first created by the Infinity Stones, a present Loki joked, "Steven Rogers, the Soldier Supreme. He can't do proper pull-ups or magic missiles." But this lack of experience would not plague the Captain for long, as during a battle with Dormammu Red, the warp version of Dormammu and the Red Skull, Soldier Supreme was banished into the Dark Dimension. There, Steven spent decades fighting off demons and honing his skills. When he was finally freed, his years of battle training had molded him into one worthy of the title, Soldier Supreme. Cap and his variants have been around for a long time, and thanks to a super soldier serum, practically perpetually in their prime. Let us know in the comments who else you think could have made this list of the most powerful versions of Captain America.